The final score, Barry Town United 1, Wrexham 3. Oh my goodness, that felt good. We're into the semi-finals of the Adron Trophy for the first ever time. That's fantastic. I tell you what, it was a hell of a good performance. And, well, how we only scored 3, it's beyond me. Absolutely beyond me, because we did ever so well. Trying conditions, we put in a proper performance. Barry Town United, of course, beat us at Barry earlier this season, and they have a very clear approach. They have good, strong defence, 5 players. The wing-backs tend to stay back as defenders, and they defend quite deep and defend extremely well, and then look to hit you on the break. But this wasn't that. We just dominated the game, opened them up constantly, and had so many great chances to score more goals than we did. They won 1-0 when we played in the league earlier this season, of course, because they executed that plan quite well. We still made chances in that match, but in this one, wow, we just kept making opportunities. The first one comes in the 4th minute. Liv Fuller chipping the ball into the box, a great pass. She did so well in midfield. Cara Jones running onto it as one-on-one with the keeper. But to be fair to her, she's going to have to try and take it fairly early-ish. It's not an easy take. She gets good contact on the volley to try and lift it over the goalie, but it doesn't come back down in time. But Wrexham, after a couple of bright minutes from Barry, really get a grip on the middle of the pitch, despite the absence of Lee Jones, of course. She's absent because of the concussion protocols, having got injured at Cardiff last Sunday, and we looked very good in the middle of the pitch. Next opportunity comes when Ava Suckley, who was everywhere, carries the ball really well down the right-hand side. It's a breakaway. Nobody's been able to keep up with her. But she drives into the box down the right channel. She gets to the goal line. She draws players to her. And then she works a nice ball back to Pritchard, who drills in the cross. It's not dealt with well and falls to Mary Gibbard on the edge of the D. She has a go, but can't keep it down. And it goes over the bar. But Wrexham really now, the pressure is becoming incessant, and we're breaking really well the pace of Suckley and Hughes. They're getting in behind that Barry defence really well, and we're opening Barry up all the time. Hughes then getting the ball, helping it on to Suckley, who feeds it wide. Cara Jones bursting down the left-hand side. Hughes has continued her run and is unmarked at the far post. Jones instead decides to go herself and cuts in onto a stronger right foot, drills in a shot. Really good block by Grace Corn. I think Jones is entitled to take the shot on, even though Hughes is in a great position, because she managed to cut inside and have a clear-sighted goal herself. Really good recovery defending. In the 19th minute, we get the ball, well, in the net, and it's disallowed, but I really don't think it should have been. A good ball again, Suckley dropping off and just feeding it over the top. Hughes' pace takes her beyond the last defender. She goes round the keeper, Arneson, but the flag is raised. I've looked at it a few times, and I don't think it's offside. It's close. I admit it's close, maybe slightly closer than I thought at the time, and the camera doesn't quite catch Hughes' position when the ball is hit, but you pick her up pretty early in the flight of the ball. She's running quickly onto it, and Beeman, the last defender, is standing stationary, and at that point Hughes looks to be onside. So I really think she was onside, to be honest. So very unfortunate not to get the goal. But we continue to dominate. Good work by Gibbard, and Pritchard win the ball. And again, Wrexham are striking quickly. Gibbard works it out to Hughes, who drives down the left channel. Now Suckley is available at the far post. Not sure Hughes quite would have been able to get the ball through to her. So she tries to hook a shot across the keeper from the left channel with her left foot. And it just keeps curving away and goes wide at the far post. And the half hours, by this point, we're starting to scratch our heads and wonder how we haven't scored. Another chance comes just after the half hour as well. Hughes chasing a long ball down the right-hand side. Bevan, who's a good centre-back, comes across and does really well to reduce the space. And she thinks she's dealt with Hughes. He's kept tight to her. But Hughes does brilliantly. Just a nice little sidestep to the left, creates a fraction of a second to put the ball in the box, and she uses it, feeding it in. Suckley's come steaming into the box. She receives her about 10 yards out. It's a good chance, but unluckily, it's just come at a bit of an awkward height. And so she has to take a touch to bring her under control. That forces her a little bit wide, but also allows Grace Corn time to come across from the far post and make another excellent block when Suckley fires it in with power from the corner of the 6-yard box. But the incessant pressure just keeps coming. A minute later, another opportunity. Now Brooke Cairns is starting to really dictate play by this point in the first half. I mean, she's a quality player and great to watch. She's technical. She's really good to watch on the ball. And if you give her space between the lines and your defence is fairly high, because Barry defend a lot higher than they did when we played them in the league, she's going to punish you. She's going to find those passes. And she starts doing this with a lovely ball through the middle to send Rosie Hughes through one-on-one on Arneson. She looks for the chip, but Arneson does really well to stand up and saves it. It's one of those that when the keeper gets it right, you can look a little silly that you didn't aim for the corners, but Hughes got hold of the chip nicely. It was a legitimate thing to do. It's just that Arneson, I thought, did very well. You know, you're going through the middle. Arneson's not the tallest, so the chip is on when she comes off in line. And, you know, usually keepers will start to go down, and again, the little dink is perfect. The trouble is, Arneson did ever so well. It's difficult to stand up like that for so long. She did really well, so credit to her rather than criticism of Hughes, I would argue, on balance. Wrexham keep going. There's a real opportunity. Suckley feeding it into the right side of the box. Fuller helps her on. Great first-time cross by Pritchard. And Rosie Hughes manages to lose the markers and attacks the 6-yard box. Makes great contact with her volley, but slams her against the bar. And it bounces away. Such frustration for her. Wrexham can straight back with an excellent move. Suckley, lovely pass, switching it to the left. Phoebe Davis keeps it moving on to Brooke Cairns. She does well, just sidesteps the player she's up against and puts a great ball in. Suckley again is attacking it at speed and just slightly mishits it, and it goes wide of the right post from about 10 yards out. 4 minutes before the break, another big moment. Gibbard working a lovely little 1-2 with Hughes in a tight area around the D. And Gibbard is completely alone in the box and will be so frustrated. Arneson comes up very quickly, to be fair, but Gibbard is trying to pick a spot but puts it just wide of the right post. The breakthrough, thankfully, finally comes 2 minutes into added time. Brooke Cairns, again, picking up that area where she's going to be deadly and feeds a lovely pass in. Wrexham have got a player over running forwards. Suckley's on the right. Fuller is one in on the right channel. Cairns picks her out beautifully. And Fuller, almost with the manner of a player who thinks, oh, you know what? Why haven't we scored yet? I'll show them how it's done. Just hits a lovely, lovely finish. Inside of the right foot, over the keeper and inside the far post from about 15 yards out, quite wide in the box. Lovely, lovely finish. Nice pass as well by Cairns. And we have that lead at last. Second half, you sort of wonder, okay, we've dominated. We're playing against the wind, but you know, as the wind's strong, will it make an impact when we switch ends? It doesn't. Wrexham start very positively. And in the 53rd minute, we get a goal again. It's just 2-0. Gibbard with a free kick on the right-hand side, puts it into the danger area. Davis and Allen both attack it. They don't really get proper contact, but they do force a mistake because the ball drops for Jenkins, a centre-back, who doesn't get the right contact on her clearance and hits Nat Clark, who from close range smashes it past Arneson before she can set herself. 2 minutes after this is an amazing moment. Wrexham fighting for the ball on the halfway line, left-hand side. It drops in front of Ava Suckley, who decides she's going to have a pop. It's utter genius. It's a hell of a strike. Arneson is backpedaling, but she can't avoid letting it bounce. And once it bounces, she's in real trouble. The ball's arcing over her, and she does ever so well, quick feet to backpedal and just get a touch onto it and tip it over the bar. What an effort by Suckley. A remarkable hit. Audacious. Yes. The technique is fantastic. And just the awareness to have a pop like that was brilliant. The wind's behind her. She knows that. And goodness me, doesn't she get hold of it. Great effort, that. If that had gone in, oh, I tell you. Within a minute, Arneson's making another brilliant save as well. Cairns in midfield, feeding Fuller, who again tries one of those long-range shots, dips it over the keeper, it's going in, and Arneson manages to get a hand up and touch it onto the bar. Terrific save by her. And Barry attacks straight away down the other end. Long does really well to carry it forwards. She feeds in Ellie Priest. Now, Priest came on as a sub in the game in the league and scored. She's now come on again off the bench. She will score again. Her pace is a real issue. She drives well down the right channel, but she's forced wide well, and when she hits her shot, Del Morgan is in control and holds onto it comfortably. But 2 minutes later, she's released in the same area of the pitch, and this time it costs us. A good piece of work in midfield by Long to manage to get the ball off Gibbers. Turner turns an intelligent pass to Priest in that right channel. This time the defenders can't get back to her in time, and Priest, it's a great finish. 1-on-1, slots it into the bottom right corner. Absolutely no chance for Del Morgan. And you wonder, firstly, how on earth is this game still alive? There's a half hour to go, and we still haven't killed them off. Are we going to regret those missed opportunities? And Barry have a decent little spell, and they do have the next chance. It's a good chance as well. Free kick in midfield. Turner lofts it into the penalty area. Stone loses her marker. She's unmarked in the middle of the box, about 7 yards out. Makes a really weak contact though, and it's not a save really for Del Morgan, except technically it would have gone in if she hadn't been there, but it's a comfortable take for her. And straight away, Wrexham break. Cara Jones gets it on the left and feeds a great ball over the top. Rosie Hughes made another good run into out, and she's driving forward. It's 2-on-1. She looks for Suckley, and she can't quite find her. It's unfortunate. Trying to square it, and Suckley would have had an easy finish. But Suckley does get the goal in the 73rd minute, and it's another crisp piece of passing by Wrexham. 2 intelligent passes, perfectly placed, perfectly weighted, and then a cool finish. Cairns feeding it into the box to Hughes. Hughes helping it square first time, and Suckley running onto it, slotting it home calmly from just inside the box. Lovely move by Wrexham. And now the tie is won now at last. Soon afterwards, Amber Lightfoot comes on for the excellent Brooke Cairns, who just has a bit of a niggle to manage. She comes off. Wrexham continue to create. Suckley getting the ball in midfield. She's now dropped off deeper into midfield. Cara Jones up front, Lightfoot on the left. And Suckley lifts another lovely ball. Rosie Hughes' pace allows her to get beyond her marker, and from the left channel she drills a strong shot, but it's too straight and Arneson is able to hold on to it. 10 minutes left, another chance for Hughes. This time Stone, who had a good game at left wing back in the second half after a bit of a readjustment, mishits a clearance, finds Rosie Hughes, who cuts it onto a right foot, and from outside the box just pulls it. It goes just wide of the left post. Again, struck powerfully, but she had a good sight of goal. It was a pity she couldn't get it quite on target. Katie Sharp comes on for Suckley, who goes down twice in the space of a couple of minutes, holding a hamstring or rubbing a hamstring. I believe it's nothing to be too concerned about. I think just a bit of tightness. Fuller then again creating a tremendous ball out wide. Pritchard's good pace to get goal side of her marker, good strength to hold her marker off. She's driving towards goal. She decides to be unselfish and squares it, and Hughes running in at the far post slides and just can't quite reach it at the far post. A shame that Pritchard maybe could have had a go herself. She did ever so well to hold the marker off, but good attitude to be looking to feed Hughes in. With a couple of minutes left, one last chance for Barry. Corn does really well to nick the ball from Lightfoot, and she feeds the ball forwards. It's helped on to Williams, just on as a sub, and she's driving down the right channel. Del Morgan comes out early, and I think puts pressure on Williams. Katie Sharp comes across and makes an excellent challenge to win the ball and snuff out the danger. Great work by her. We make a couple of late substitutions. Grace Morris comes on for Mary Gibbers, and Erin Lovett comes on for Rebecca Pritchard, and we switch to a back four just to make sure we soak up anything that Barry might throw at us, but they're not really able to get any pressure going. And we triumphed, and we're in the quarter-final of the Cup brilliantly. Looking at the performances, well, firstly, I mean, in conditions like that, you don't want to be edgy about your goalkeeper. Del Morgan just radiated calm and authority. I thought she was very, very impressive. She Didn't have that much to handle in terms of balls into the box. What she did have to deal with, she dealt with very comfortably. Her handling was excellent. There was a few shots on her, and again, her handling was very clean on those as well. As always, the decision making was good. She's quick off her line. Made a couple of good interventions as well when she had to come out of the box. Made the right decision. Was quick to deal with it, and was good with the ball to her feet. And she just radiated the confidence you want from a keeper on a day when it could be difficult conditions for your goalie. The back three did really well. I mean, firstly, the skipper in the middle, Karen Allen, proper defence of the penalty area, good aggressive work. She physically dominated the Barry defenders and was very comfortable in doing so. To her left, I thought Phoebe Davis again was tidy, and the 90 minutes under her belt. In fact, brilliant for all three of the back three to see him getting in 90 minutes. Clark and Allen coming back into the team, and Davis can, I guess her rehab phase is behind her now, and she's just able to put the 90 minutes in. But she was, as always, Davis, robust in the tackle and had a couple of meaningful moves down the flank as well. On the other side, Nat Clark was very good, especially, I thought, in the second half, where she started to find a little bit of space, and of course she's a good passer, Clark, and she's able to hit players down the flank, and she drew Pritchard in a lot. She looked for the runs of the strikers a lot, and she was defeating players. It was a good source of transition for us that Clark would get it with a little bit of time, and she'd be playing accurate passes forwards and getting us on the front foot. So good performance, I thought, by her. Cara Jones, full of energy as always on the left-hand side. A lot more was going on the right, but Jones was good on the ball, was tidy, was working it around well, and when she went up front for the last 10 minutes again, was energetic and dropped in the lines, helped the ball on nicely, good use of the ball. On the right, we got a lot done. Pritchard, I thought, had a very good game. She got a lot of service into the box. She set up a lot of chances, and she also put a lot of other balls into the right areas in the penalty area. She had a great duel in the second half, because when Priest came on at half-time, Stone, who'd been playing out the pitch, went to left wing-back. And I thought she did really well. But Priest was still managing to get crosses in, was still managing to find space, still managing to beat her. Good performance by Pritchard, who was, as always, also put in a terrific shift without the ball. We won midfield comprehensively, and the midfield trio were impressive. Liv Fuller, excellent. We had, I apologise, I can't remember who it was from, but we had a question on Ask Wrexham during the game. Well, basically saying Liv Fuller is absolute cast iron bound to be player of the season. Well, I don't agree, simply because there's a lot of the season left. A lot of things can happen. But she has been playing consistently at a terrific level, hasn't she? And in this game, she really bossed matters. Good physical presence in the middle of the pitch. And again, just judicious passing. She's spraying the ball around. Excellent stuff. Scored a goal. Hit the bar, forcing a good save at the keeper. Yeah, excellent all-round performance by Fuller. Brooke Cairns as well, tremendous. I mean, what a baller. She's just such a good player to watch. Technical and tidy. And yeah, Barry were getting punished by the passing of Fuller and Cairns, who consistently were feeding the right passes in and bringing strikers clear or getting players into promising positions. Cairns and Fuller just constantly advancing the game, advancing our play and getting us at Barry. It was tremendous. I thought really, really good by both of them. Mary Gibbard's great leg work as ever, currying a lot of space, putting out a lot of fires. She'd been so frustrated not to score that goal when she worked a 1-2 with Rosie Hughes. But yeah, again, another good, hard-working performance from her. And then up front, well, Rosie Hughes must be so frustrated by this game. I mean, she scored 5 goals at Barry last season. She easily could have done this time, quite frankly. And she will be frustrated. All strikers are. But I think we need to put this into a bit of context here. And I'm reluctant to make this comparison because I know people are doing it. But I think it's a valid comparison. Like Paul Mullin, she's getting into great positions and the ball's just not quite going in for her. Like Paul Mullin, that doesn't really bother me that much. It's a problem in the immediate term, in a game where we could have scored more. But I'd be worried if a attacking player was invisible then I'd be concerned that if they weren't getting those positions. Mullin and Hughes are both getting into great positions. It just won't fall for them. It just, for some reason, can't quite get it past the keeper. But in both cases, you just feel they'll keep doing that, and the goals will start coming, and they'll start coming in good numbers once they start the groove going. I thought her movement was excellent. Her link-up play was excellent. Some really good unselfish passes. And she looked constantly threatening. Hughes, the goals will come. And when they come, like I said, I think teams will find it difficult to stop her scoring. Alongside her as player of the match, and I've genuinely put thought into this. I know player of the match isn't that important, but goodness me, there were some really high-level performances in that match. But Ava Suckley, oh, come on, she was outrageous. She drops off and she's playing great passes over the top. She's spreading the ball really well. She runs through the middle with her pace. She's a constant goal threat. She scores the goal. She has that outrageous effort from the halfway line, which was, come on, I mean, that was nuts. It was genius. And her work rate's outstanding, whether it's making runs or whether it's tracking back and winning tackles. God, what a season she is having. And this was a magnificent all-round performance by her. It would have to be to put her ahead of the likes of Fuller and Cairns in the player of the match ratings, in my mind. The subs who came on, none of them had a great deal of chance to really make a big impact. Amber Lightfoot came on the left and was tidy enough, so it had no defensive issues. At the back, Katie Sharp comes on and makes that excellent intervention on the edge of the box. Erin Lovett comes on and didn't have long to make an impression, but was perfectly sound. Of course, Lovett got sent off within about a minute at Barry earlier this season, so at least she didn't have any calamities this time. And then Grace Morris, I do want to just mention her. Morris coming on for her second appearance in the first team. Young striker. She's small, but she was strong. I was impressed. Like I say, didn't have long to show what she could do, but she was holding big defenders off really comfortably. Really robust play by her. Low centre of gravity, was strong and able to get little turns in on them. And when she was dropping off, because she was used more as like a second striker, when she dropped off, she was finding space and she was very tidy with the ball. And again, looking to get the ball forwards and link up play. I thought that was a really promising little cameo from a promising young attacking player. So, yeah, very, very pleased to see her perform like that. I'm very, very pleased to see Wrexham perform like that. That was brilliant stuff. Should have scored more. 3 will do, though. Thanks very much. We're into the semi-finals, like I say, for the first time. And Cardiff City are out, the league leaders. They lost at TNS. Now, TNS, of course, are also a quality side, so they'll be a threat. Swansea are through to the semis as well. And the 4th team will be either Britain Ferry or Aberystwyth. The game was postponed. But yeah, we put ourselves into a good position there. But chasing silverware into the semi-finals. Absolutely brilliant. With the final score of Barry Town United 1, Wrexham 3, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.